talking about using Google Docs to help analyze data in a science classroom. I've already got Google up in my browser, and I want to show you something that many people overlook. There's a sign-in. This sign-in allows you to customize several of the Google tools specifically for you. For example, if you come here to the More tab, you can come down and choose Documents to be able to use a custom tool called Google Docs. Google Docs is made up of 5 basic tools: documents, spreadsheets, presentations, drawings, and forms. Each one of these interrelates with the others, just like on Office software on your desktop. But one of the differences is they're a little bit lighter, but that makes them more agile, so you can do more with them because you're able to use them from so many more places. So we're going to talk about spreadsheets today. I can either click this big Try Google Docs Now or create an account. Or in my case, since I already have an account, ProfessorJorgensen@gmail. My password's already populated there, so I'm going to hit sign in. Here I am at Google Documents now, and you'll see what I have is a big list of all the different items that I've created and that I can use. Most of them are presentations and documents, although there are a significant number of spreadsheets as well. To create a spreadsheet, I use this Create New button and choose a spreadsheet. You'll notice that those 5 different items we talked about before are there, as well as a new one called Folder. This allows you to create folders so you can organize your documents. So I'm going to choose Spreadsheet because that's what we want to create. Now, Google Spreadsheets is not nearly as powerful in some ways at creating a paper-based document as Microsoft Excel is. For example, if I want to insert an image, it's not like it was in Google or in Microsoft Excel. I have to put a name in for my spreadsheet first. We're going to call this Gas Laws, and then click OK. And what it gives me are 2 options. I either have to have the web address of the image, and there's a lot of different ways you can get that, but I don't happen to have that for my image, so I'm going to choose Google Image Search. And this is going to be that same lab, so I'm going to type in FizzKeeper and search images. And what I'm told is that results are shown for commercial reuse with some modifications. Well, I don't really need to do commercial reuse, I don't need to do modifications, but I don't get any results either. So I'd have to investigate and find a URL. The reason you have to have a URL and can't just load a document in, or a file in, is it just doesn't work the same as your desktop software. Everything has to live on the web for it to be able to work inside of Google Documents. I'm just going to cancel and not worry about putting that image in. We're just going to worry about the spreadsheet parts. Now remember, when we did this before, we had in our first column number of pumps. And in our second column, we had mass in units. So this is pretty much the same as it was in Excel. One of the other features that I like is if I put in a 0, a 5, and a 10, I have enough there for Google to recognize the pattern. And just like on Excel, I have this little tool here that lets me fill. And so I filled it down to 115, which is more than I need, so I'll just delete those out with the keyboard. I can also put my mass in units, and just like on Excel, if you looked at that tutorial before, it'll fill just the same item if I choose to do that. So we've got some pretty good tools here, and all the same tools that we kind of had in Excel are pretty much here. It doesn't have quite the same number of formulas, but if I wanted to do averages or any of the basics, I can. I have number formattings. I can change something quickly to percents or to currency. I can also adjust my my font size, my color of my font, and a lot of other things. It'll also graph just the way that Excel will as well. So it really is basically just another version of a desktop spreadsheet, but the big advantage to it is because it's online, you can do a few things more with it you can't do simply and directly with Excel. For example, I can share. I can set up different people to be editors, to be viewers. I can publish this as a web page and then use the link to show it to everyone in the world. I can also share it via email to anybody that I want to. So it's got some pretty good tools for being able to collaborate on it. And if I share it as another editor, both of us can be working on the same document online at the same time, which is also kind of an advantage, especially if you're working with kids in different locations or students who are working with other students. So that's basically in a nutshell Google Docs and the materials and resources you need for that. The final thing I would point out is if you want to attach this to your lesson plan for this week, you are going to need to do this publish as a web page, tell it to start publishing, and one of the things it's going to give you is a web address. So this web address right here you can add as an attachment to the UEN lesson plan tool. Now, a moment ago I said finally, but really I should have said the final thing about Google Documents, because I also want to point out that there are several other documents or other tools that you can do this with. Now, you may not know this, but when I hit close on that, Google Docs automatically saves. It saves live, and it actually, because it does that, it actually saves versions of it, so you can actually see previous versions of your documents, which is kind of a nice feature. I'm going to hit refresh on this page, and you'll see that gas laws will appear. And so if I go back into that, I can actually go to File and see the revision history, which shows me all the changes that anybody has made on this. Not just what the changes were, but when they made them and how who made them, which is a very convenient tool for teachers. But I am going to be done with Google Docs now and show you a couple of other things. If you have a Hotmail account or a live.com account, you can sign in. Mine's already got my password. And one of the features that is available now from Windows Live, in your SkyDrive, you have 25 gigabytes of online storage. But attached to that SkyDrive, and also attached with Microsoft Office on the desktop, is a version of these things that is online. So I can choose New, and I can actually do an Excel workbook. Now, if your school happens to use Live at EDU, or you're a school that has a lot of Hotmail users, you can do a lot of the things you would like to do with your Excel desktop. You can also do with what's called the Excel web app. You'll notice I have some of the same features that we talked about and saw in Excel on the desktop, if you saw that tutorial. And I can insert basically the same kinds of things, column charts, pie charts, bar charts, etc. This one you'll also notice that there's not a save button. And actually that's a big thing. Where's the save button? It's saved live, just like Google Docs does. But it also has save as, so we can save a new version of it. And it has a very fun button that you can actually open this immediately in Excel. So if you have Excel on the desktop you're currently working on, you can open it in Excel and work on it with a full-featured desktop software, or you can continue working on it online. And just like Google Docs, you can set up sharing and things like that. So if you're more comfortable with this and already use Hotmail, this may be an option instead of Google Docs. But you'll have to locate the web address and make sure that that is shared, and that when a person clicks on it that they see the spreadsheet. A third software that does the same kind of thing, actually I should say website, is Zoho. Zoho is an online tool that provides a bunch of business applications and productivity applications for you to use anywhere you log in. I have not used this one much, and I really don't know what advantages it has over the other ones. I know that there's more softwares that are available. We have 3 different options that allow you to create spreadsheets and analyze data, and 3 of those are online tools that will allow you to then share it and collaborate with it online and live. So those are some other options for analyzing data.